So I'm back for another video because the other one has been I put it on pause and hold, but then it's been stopped when I shut off the computer, I think. Hey. So hey, you see I have a small head now. I have a small head. I'm just making sure that everything is alright. And the sound for the other video. And you see me doing something else before because they shut off the beginning of the video. They put a delay. They put a delay on the switch of the screenshot. They put a delay on the recordings, on the screenshots, and here as well, and the screenshot on the computer, on the screenshot of on the start of the videos here. They put as well a delay on my music. This is how it started. They shut off the start of my music, no matter how long of a silence I put before, to avoid this, because I'm a professional as well as sound engineer. So I know one thing or two about music production and how to make it sound good. Yet I was not going in that direction 100%. I was more into the creative direction and make sure to develop my palette of expression as best as possible, to then come in more technicalities about the mixing, to be able to touch it all up, rearrange it all up later on a more technical level, to be sure that everything sounds as polished as I want it to sound. This was my mindset. And for instance, Baptiste kept telling me that I was not doing it properly on the rules and so on, because he was a sound engineer, an acoustic engineer, blah. But me, my approach as a sound engineer was that I knew that we are breaking some rules to make it work. There are some rules. We know how it sounds. We know how to make it sound proper and so on. Yet we are just fucking it up because we like how it sounds. So this was my education. I am an educated sound engineer from one of the best music school in Europe, right? And this satanist fucker was telling me that I didn't know what I was doing. Yet I was more creative and more performant on my creative process than he was. Anyway, jealous people. So it was a competition for him to the music production. He didn't go much further, I think. He's not publishing anything. Me, my point was to produce as much as possible, to ship EPs and so on, to be able to get in the rhythm and to understand the concept of producing an EP, right? It's like 3 to 4 tracks. So then I have been exploring, I have been going about several styles, and this dude couldn't understand it. Or perhaps he was, but the thing he couldn't, it's that he couldn't be as productive as I was. So yeah, my stepdad put me out of the room, and he told me in the end, oh yeah, you can stay until 7 a.m. But I need to go out of the room because my mom was crying in bed because I go to sleep at night. I don't go to sleep at night. And because my stepdad was angry at me, but then he was not angry at me. I don't know, it's not supposed to make sense. And that's healing somehow, because it's like they are still attacking, but now it's somehow healing, like, because they had to play a role for their entire life. It's like, this is how the psychopaths are operating. the narcissist operating. They are playing a role in front, while in the back they are fucking you up. And so then the entire system has been like this. This is only a system that is built to put forward the most atrocious person, the most manipulative person, because this is what used to work. This is what used to work to set the power in, like the law of strength. Now it's a bit more complicated. With the tech and so on, you have to be smart and to be wise. This is what's needed. Otherwise, the power is depleted. It's like this freaking serial killer that has been outed. Like here, there is a baby stuff. I didn't get it. Like I'm freaking smart and so on, but like like sometimes you just don't see things, right? You just don't see them. It's in front of your eyes and you don't see them. It's like it's been several nights that the baby stuff is here. Like this is the I don't know how it's called. Cradle, where you put the baby to sleep. It's been oh no, this is not this actually. This is the but like this is a commode we say in French. This is a commode, but it looks like a baby stuff. Okay, but this was there for the past nights, and I didn't even realize it. I didn't get it. It's like I was like, oh, perhaps they killed their babies. Not that they didn't. I don't know. The numbers. It looks like it. It looks like very close to my numbers. The numbers of my mom. The numbers of the department. They seem to be like all about numbers and so on, and they seem to kill around the numbers. They seem to be about cutting the finger of a cat to then put the name of it of an association for handicapped animals or something like this, and then I'm like, did they kill the baby? I don't know. It didn't look like there was a baby there. The numbers are fitting perfectly with my date of birth and the fake date of birth. It fits perfectly. We're talking about satanism. We're talking about people that are living right next door and that are targeting my cats. But no, they wouldn't go that far on the numbers. No, I haven't seen worse than this. I haven't seen dead bodies being put in front of me. I haven't seen any crime at all. Like in Barcelona, I have been like they showed me dead bodies, not the dead bodies. Dead bodies, like actually, like I seen like a rigid guy at the in the back of a car of a taxi, not hidden in the back, but like really sitting. I have seen like a girl that was like really like stiff, like not moving on the back of a scooter. Like why would they do that? I don't know. I have seen a guy on a scooter, like a serial killer. I'm pretty sure he looked like a bit like, I'm going in front of you, and I have someone in front of me to help me out with this. It look the guy give me that impression with someone from the secret services in front, like just going on the scooter around, so that he would have security. You know, just in case, because I am a freaking celestial prince. Like it's you never know what could be happening, and I am so predictable and then unpredictable at all. And so I saw that and I directly read through that. Like I read through that, no impression of take or whatever, because this it's not happening, right? And so I saw that, I was like, my God. It looks like a douchebag, serial killer, like a criminal, a freaking criminal, like so freaking dumb, on a scooter, wearing a yellow jacket, like a stupid fuck ass, and then with another guy from the intelligence world who is leading them in leading him. So then I was like, okay. Then they passed by instead of following. Oh my God, like the guy has been set up. It's not possible. I look I have this and I remember that now. So I'm gonna come back on the borderline. I'm gonna come back on the other things one step at a time. I just have to be distracted. This is how it has been the entire time. But in the end, it's just unfolding and chaotically breaking up everything anyway. Because this focus thing, and because I'm not an ADHD, I never have been. Anyway, actually, I still don't know. So the dude here, like passing by, there is the other one like this, like, so he is first. Oh, I like to hide the cameras because you can monitor. So he was passing by in front of me. So this is the scooter of the guy. So this is intelligence world, protecting the serial killer, right? And be like, stupid. It really looked stupid, like a child. It really looked like a child. So there is the daddy and there is the children, like passing by with one scooter. Like, I'm gonna lead you. It's okay. Yes, they are dangerous. Yes. Everybody is freaking out. And yes, they are a celestial prince, so it's dangerous. But I've got your back. So they're passing by like this in front of me. And I'm like, oh, it looks like that. Then I'm like, well, what can I say? It's like, of course, they are organizing traffic around me. Why would I be surprised? And then they pass by the other way around. This one leading, and the daddy on the back. It's like, okay, getting independent. Yay. And I think he was getting a little faster even, like, yeah, this is safe. Oh la la. Actually, this is not that funny, but this situation was funny. And then I saw him alone because he was confident. I saw him alone, like, and then perhaps even another time, like going again in the same direction, and then it was over. Like, I'm very serious about what I'm saying right now. This is why, like, when I am like, there is a girl attacking cats, I'm like, I get attacking my cats, and then I see like all the thing that's going on. Like, I have been really, really, very, very, very. I have been very, very, very aware of the way they are attacking people, of the way they've been attacking me. I know it. I see how they react. I see the difference with like high level discussion versus low level discussion. I saw uh, the type of topics, what makes them tick, what makes them react, how strong they react according to which what, you know. And so then it revolved around poop. It revolved. We are ending up revolving around poop as being the ultimate thing. By the way, I still have my sperm. And I will use another tactic tonight. one that's more complicated, at least to touch me and so on. I put myself in the. I used to do that in the cover of the bed. I'm gonna put myself in it and be like, oh, we'll see how it's going on. It's like they will need to really knock me down to do this without waking me up. It's gonna make things more complicated. It's gonna make it sound even more if that's happening. Because the further you have to go, the harder the backlash. So, borderline personality. My ex telling me you're borderline, take your meds, and I stay with you. It's like, no blackmail. Take your meds, and I stay with you. If you don't take your meds, I leave you. In the end, I broke off the meds because it was going like shit with him. We're having a break, so I was like, okay, I don't take the meds anymore. I don't care. I don't feel like the entire time I didn't feel like taking the meds. I was not taking even like the entire thing. I was like, this is too strong. This is too strong. I only need to take 3/4 of one pill. So I took the 3/4 of one pill to then see that sometimes it was working more, sometimes it was working less. But at the beginning it was effective. But then because they aren't the type that can resist to playing with the toy that they had, they still had to continue to torture me with the asshole thing, like hearing asshole all the time, all around. And that was the only thing, actually. It was just that I was triggering anxiety every single time, and that I was overthinking, like putting a sequence of thoughts that was a pattern of thoughts that was all the time the same. So I knew it, I recognized it, I knew how to handle it. Then at some point, like I was not focusing on rationalization or rationalizing the thing. I was focused on dealing with the emotion, because I knew that dealing with the emotion would, oh my God, Susan David. Shit. This Harvard professor of medical school. So her book about emotional agility, she says that we get hooked, like the book that I've read, hooked on some thought pattern because of emotional triggers, emotional cues. It's in the first chapter, plus other stuff that are like psychological lingo and so on. But she says basically that we get hooked on thought pattern based on the emotion that is linked to it, and that we need basically to depattern it. When I read that, I was like, oh yeah, brilliant. But this I figured out myself 2 or 3 years beforehand, at least. And this is why she put it in her book. I suppose that she might have known or not, I don't know. But she put it in her book, and this is why I was about to say this is why I liked it. But it's not, I don't know if it's because I said it and I was like, oh yeah, this is something that I think too, or have the feeling of, like being in harmony with someone. It's like in a hostel concept of Barcelona. They've been taking so much, like, everything basically from me, and entrepreneurship, student thing, blah. The thing is in the middle, like the social hub. It's in the middle of a hotspot with a pedophile network, spots with what else? Another pedophile network not so far away, underground network, human trafficking underground network not so far away, some scientific experimental thing going on, I think, human trafficking spot with the taxis and so on. It's really in the middle of a lot that's going on, like cannibalism spot. It's in the middle of a lot. So at the beginning, at some point, I had the idea. I was like, I had the idea that, yeah, I need to ask for, I need to ask hotels and so on. I need to be proactive. I need to ask hotels for a place to stay. I need to exchange my services against theirs, which is in a hotel room. And there it looked perfect. It looked really perfect, fitted for me, exactly everything like me. And so I was like, my God, this is gonna be so easy. But then they've been just dickheads there. They told me that no, it's not possible. They need to see with men. Nah, 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 nah. It's then that I understood what was going on. And of course, if I was staying there, while my situation would be arranged, offering them marketing services or so on, working there, basically working for them in exchange of a rent, because they were offering student spaces, rent the month. So I could have, like, negotiating something. I could have negotiated something. It was like, oh no. And I saw was a light with doing like this, or it was like this, as above so below, 666, which is actually Hindu thing. So of course he didn't get through. All that to say what? That I have been crafty. I have been crafty. That I already saw signs of my work being copied at the time. Susan Davis, she got super close to me, very, very close to me. Um, hmm. And then she retrieved very real quick at some point. I don't know why, but I guess that she saw that a counter a counter thing was going on, and that it was best to get away as soon as possible. Or perhaps she was building a case to help me out later on. Who knows? But I just know that she saw the heat and she was like, oof, get me out of the way of that. And I never saw her posts anymore. But some other people, they wanted my attention. Her, she was like, no. And she showed me as well that I had talents. She was like there in the article. Like she put some references that I understood, and I was like, yeah, actually this is amazing. So it was a bit like, and Harvard is supposed to be with me. It's supposed to be a rival school, so I wouldn't be surprised that she just played the game in a certain way and removed herself early while everybody was like, yeah, to then be like, yes, actually, look, this, up. This is the shit I've done. And this is because this is what would you have a pattern here. Could be, huh? I hope that's it for her. Because, whoa. A bit the same happened with Amy and Manson with the concept of psychological safety and Google. So perhaps it's the same thing. We need to push the concept of psychological safety. Then it became trendy. Then people were like, oh, psychological safety. Yes, I need psychological safety. Because it's indeed needed. I have been hanging around some professionals of the references of the psychologic of the what? Of the mental health industry. Of the psychological industry. I have been reading posts, I have been on top of it as well as I could. I have been exploring, like building content, referenced on real psychology insights. You can hear I'm not talking like a professional of the industry, yet I still know what's up, right? And I'm saying all that because I have been relating videos of a professor of psychology, and got prompted with the thought that because I didn't use the lingo, because I didn't study it properly, that a I was not legit somehow, like it can give you that feeling. You have someone with a diploma, you've been going about it for your entire life, but they got the diploma, they know exactly what is what with some specific words, and then you're like, oh my god, I don't know anything. But they just know the theory while you know the practicalities. This is this workers versus academics. The Normally when you are a doctor, you have practice. So it's the doctor talk versus the PhD. If you want to put them there on the same level, it's the I've learned this at school versus wait a minute, it's not how it's happening actually. Everything in science is supposed to be fact based and research based on what's going on in life. And I have been shamed when I was going back to studying, but I don't know, this is all disconnected from reality. This is not how the world works, blah blah blah. And I guess that MIT, they are freaking disconnected. It's like they're like worlds away of how things roll, right? So you see that, like, even a Nobel Prize of medicine has been changing his most famous book, or my copy of his most famous book, to include some of my insight in it. This means something. This means that they have to do it. I'm honest, transparent. But if it was, that could be shit. I still think that it's of value, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't be so narrative of it. They wouldn't praise it that much. But then, from what I know, is that what I see is that they aren't that. How to say it? They aren't that smart. Some of them are smart, but then you wonder, given what they are doing with all the tools they have, you wonder. You're like, why is it that stupid? In the end, some of them are immensely stupid. And what I have seen is that they are just scammers. They are just pretending, because this is the culture, pretending. Pretending that it's yours while you killed for it. This is the basic mechanism of the entire thing. You kill for it and pretend it's yours. You kill for the knowledge and pretend it's yours. You kill for the house and pretend it's yours. You kill for becoming the wife. You kill the wife to become the wife, and then you pretend you've always been the wife. All that. This is why, like, they copy all you do to become like you, to then take your spot, literally. Because this is how the energy works. Because the energy works only on the way you behave, right? All those external features, nothing else. So back to the borderline thing. I have been reading a little about borderline personality because I thought that I was borderline. My step airplane. My ex-boyfriend told me, "Oh yeah, I think you're borderline." Blah. Now, I didn't know that was psych torture. Well, I wasn't. I was framed as a schizophrenic. Well, I wasn't. Just to discredit me, to traumatize me with saying that thinking too high of yourself is a disease. Having ambitions is a disease, aka megalomania. Because it's like there is the real you and there is the you disconnected from the reality. Then there are the hallucinations, the delirium of persecution, thinking that everybody is against you while it's just in your head. And this has been used quite a bit against me. It's like, no, but they don't care. So everyone was observing me. No, nobody cares. Why would you do that? Why would you say that? Nobody cares. Nobody's looking at you. I was like, well, I see people looking at me. I see. People are looking. But now it's in my head because I have hallucinations. Then the hallucinations, yeah, anxiety cue linked to the thought pattern. Instead of treating the thought pattern, I was focusing on the emotion to be able to release the thought pattern that was linked to the emotion. And this is a Harvard Medical School acclaimed psychology psychology teacher, professor, has been putting it in the introduction of their book. Exactly that. I had no clue that it was high level psychology. I was just studying myself, introspecting myself, stalk yourself. I didn't have the word, but I had the understanding. I didn't have the formal training, but I still understood what was going on. Diplomas are just pieces of paper to classify one person against another and to say this one is privileged and this one is not, basically. Like the basic. This is a system of social reproduction. Social reproduction, sociology, based on behavioral science. You see, when I start to have accurate words, upper words, immediately it's like, no, it's gonna look too good because I look better. If they talk well, it means that I am lesser. This is exactly what's happening. And then if you want to go further there, it's like if they talk like this is I am lesser. It's like perhaps an inferiority complex, feeling lesser, feeling shame about yourself, which is triggered by your shine. And because your shine is reminding them of a personal trauma, of some PTSD, unhealed PTSD, then they are going into some coping mechanism to cope, to reassure themselves, for instance, by hammering you down, which make them feel in control, make them feel that they have an impact on their external environment, and so therefore on themselves. The anger is a known feeling. This known feeling makes them feel as well, on top of that, safer. It's a double layer of safety, control, plus going back in a zone that they know. So 2 layers of safety. Then because they are hammering you down, you do not trigger them anymore. So the threat has been neutralized. And they see that by hammering you down, then you aren't, they see that actually they are superior to you. And then they're like, yeah, of course I'm superior. It's a kind of delusion that use violence as a coping mechanism. They force everybody down to confirm themselves to themselves that they are the best. They're going to kill the competition, capitalism. They're going to kill the competition to be the only one that remains and therefore be the best. It's relativity. You're not the best because you're the best. You're the best because you appear as the best, because the best aren't competing with you anymore. But then they think that they are the best because they see that there is no one as being at their level to compete. But it's just an illusion, it's just a deception, which is what they want because they can deceive that way. Then it makes them feel in control, and it makes them feel better about themselves because they are in control. If they are in control, it means that they are safe. They feel safe. And if they feel safe, then it means that they are not going to be hurt because they are the best. They are the best, therefore they cannot be hurt. And that's interesting. And fucking you over because you're better than them is their way to keep that illusion up. They panic all of a sudden because their safety is threatened. And that's as well paradoxal to build safety on the back of violence, knowing that violence is attracting more violence always. And this is as well something that they are believing in. What you do is what you attract. Who you are is who you attract. They still spread violence, and they somehow don't see that they are fearing violence themselves, and that it is why they want to become the most violent to feel safer. So then it's lots of mechanism. This does this does that. If you go by this, then it means this and this and that and this and that, and then in the mix, it's just a system that makes sense. Their mental model makes sense. It's like, oh yeah, I see why they behave like this. Like it makes sense in the map that you have done of themselves. But even if they have a map of me, they do not comprehend it because their empathy levels are knocked down. Why? Because they go about the killing. So they kill their empathy. They feel dead inside. Why? Because they are serial killers. They have been trained. Basically, they have been trained. The culture trained them, conditioned them to become serial killers. So it's their fault, but at the same time, it's not their fault. And so they are in a paradoxical position that is torturing them. And because they are always in pain and always seeing their external environment as the trigger to their internal pain, then you become the target, the object of their own pain. You become the threat, basically, that they have to do everything they can to remove. But then it goes further than this. They start to like it, to like the killing, to like the torture, to like the pain, as a way as well to be able to cope with it. Otherwise, they would just kill themselves, which is what they want internally as well. Something that they do not reconcile with the rest of their model. This is why they are scattered. A bit of this here, a bit of that here, a bit of this here, a bit of that there. And this is why then in the end it just don't make sense. It's like they act out, they do something, it fucks everything up, they are calm again, and they're like, and then they have to cope with the shit that they've just done, and then they have to lie, they have to just keep moving, This is why then they call it, like their anger, they call it the force, for instance. They depersonalize it, which tends to create another personality, another identity in the end of the day, which is cultivated by the blood rituals when they moved into a persona of magic, in the world of magic, to go about the killing. So then they aren't integrating all of their psychology, all of their model, they're just splitting it. And this is why you arrive with some people with massive delusions and not really getting what's going on with themselves, because they just nurtured an internal space that is fractured and that is not communicating with one another, part that aren't communicating with one another, are perhaps a little still fragmented, divided. So then when you just push a button, they are overly reacting and they go totally crazy. And this is how you can manipulate them better. This is as well what I think being a fail safe motion, so that the most dangerous that are rewarded for being dangerous, they are so scattered that you can control them and bring them back in by fucking them up mentally if they become too dangerous in terms of power and so on, which is what's happening right now, which is why we are in the middle of a psych operation to remove them all, because they are fragile mentally. So then borderline. I thought my stepfather was like this, but it was a role as well to teach me what it is. It's like to experience it, to understand it directly. I was the favorite person. A borderline person has a favorite object, and this favorite object, which can be a person, which happens most of the time to be a person, becomes the sun, thunder, and rain of their entire life. And so they feel good because you did something. They feel bad because you did another thing. They feel amazing because you did something. They feel extremely bad because you did something. You're like, it's all because of you, because you are their favorite object of attention. And so this, I think that's it right now. Perhaps he's been moving himself up because the order was that, go. Or because he had to do this to call everybody else back in. Yet, he's just exposing himself. He's just exposing the tech. He's just showing that he's not that smart, that he shouldn't have to be that respected, therefore. If you look about it, attracting everybody around one person, the entire world around one person, to then fuck everything up, it's freaking evil. To force them to all expose themselves and fuck them all over, it's freaking evil. If you look at it, while putting me in a spot where I am being tortured, that is so fucking evil. And this is what's happening right now. And I just want the entire system to be fucked over. It was like the last climax of Satanism. And then we are done with it forever. It just was too much. It's not working because it didn't put the right people at the top. It put some people that are killing, that are centered on the killing, and therefore it just weakening the power itself and threatening the entire power system itself. There is no continuity that is possible. So I talked about this. I wanted to talk about the borderline thing. I wanted to talk about something else. I took the liberty to record a what? To record a memo. And this memo I'm talking about, like the other one that is they have killed their babies because of the numbers. Yeah, like they're all about the numbers, but then they don't really. They just see that they're rewarded, and because they're rewarded, they just continue to do the thing. But then they don't actually take a look at if the magic is actually working or not. They're putting everything in motion on the back of the magic, of the back of what's supposed to be the ultimate source of power. But they do not check if they are actually developing any type of superpower except the one that is given to them by other humans. You know, this is why just like something about like a belief that everybody is just ingrained with. It's like if everybody believes in this, then it keeps rolling. But now I'm like, wait, this entire matrix, belief matrix, it's fact. Look, if you want, like if you are in the order, if you believe in the magic, and so on, just investigate for yourself. I don't want to disappoint you, but just investigate for yourself. Go and check who has actually developed superpowers. Check. The person having done the most rituals, they are supposed to have been developing some type of superpowers. Right? Because this is the magic. This is how it works. So if you believe in that, just go and see who has developed some type of superpowers. Who? And if not, then why the fuck are you doing what you are doing right now? Why the fuck are you doing this? And this is what you have to face. One possible way to deflect that you aren't a serial killer loving to kill is to see if it's the matrix that has done that to you. The belief system and the entire system has been fucking you over. That 100%. I won't say it otherwise. But this doesn't mean that you aren't, that you're good. It just means that you have been fucked over. It doesn't mean that you have done the right choices. It just means that you have been fucked over. And that's okay. But you have to heal that. That's your responsibility. And there is magic. Once you are healed, you will see that you will have much more power on yourself and your environment that you are currently having right now. And those are tangible things that you can rely on. It's not going about the killing that's gonna solve anything. Because the freaking magic, and you're gonna see it, it's not working. You're gonna see that everybody is just feeling scattered and just feeling under and just feeling like done, dead inside. So you're feeling weak inside, powerless. And how do you go to feel power inside of yourself? By just bringing more life in. And you gotta nurture life, not nurture death. The more death around you, the more death within you. The more life around you, the more life within you. The more you push life, the more life pushes you. The more you push death, the more death pushes you. It's not that complicated. Perhaps if you want something more complicated, just study psychology for the sake of healing yourself and healing the people around that are the most stubborn. This is the freaking challenge. You want something complicated? Do this. Prove yourself. Prove how smart you are by just going the other direction, which is the most complicating things. And while you are doing the most complicating things, you're going to reveal yourself. Do that. You will see. That will be rewarding. And that is worth living for, because it's going to give you some feelings that are going to most probably feel strange to you. And this is the feeling of self-worth, of respect, of honor, of fulfillment, accomplishment, achievement, tangible achievement that you can rely on to then ground yourself onto. Not some achievement that are just gonna eat you up every second of the day, but some achievement that are just gonna nurture you every second of the day. That just gonna help you hang tight in there and be able to move forward. Just give it a try, see for yourself. I'm not asking you to do things blindly. I'm asking you to explore, to investigate for yourself, and to take your own freaking lessons. This is part of accountability. Accountability is not forcibly linked to shame. Accountability is linked to, this is an account. Sometimes it's in the minus, sometimes it's in the plus. It's in the plus. Sometimes it's zero. You take into account, where is it? If you don't know where it is, then you're just freaking lost. So you got to do this. And checking if the belief does match the reality, this is accountability. And then nobody is going to shame you or not, or on this. It's just you with yourself. You can shame yourself on that if you want, but we aren't going to be here to shame you on that. We're just going to be here observing the results, and then in your actions, and potentially shaming you on your actions. This is all we're going to do. Then some people that have been manipulating you and shaming you on the basis of bullshit, of nothing. You've done nothing, but you were still shamed. Well, this is over. This is going out of the window. So, when you kill as well, you feel shame, you feel guilt. This is why you oppress your feelings. You repress your feeling. This is why you don't want to feel anything. This is why you build apathy. And this is why then you don't understand me. Because I'm feeling based and rationality based. I am both. And I keep my beliefs in check. This is why I don't go too far on the topic of the extraterrestrial, of the aliens. Because there are lots of stuff that I cannot check, and I cannot build my life on just beliefs that aren't kept in check. Because I need to understand what's out here and what works here. If I don't know what works, then I know that I cannot move on. And especially right now, I cannot move. I have to move on the basis of stuff that are working. So this is why I'm not going too far into I am a God thing, because I just have to hang on what I know is working and trust that. Trust tangible results. And you gotta do that. You gotta go about the tangible results and investigate all the time. This is what I do. You know that. You gotta do that. For the rest, if you want to go still about the killing, you're just a dickhead. And you gotta assume that you're a serial killer, and that's it. For the rest, hang tight in there. Keep supportive of one another. It's working. We are moving forward. Much love and have fun.